Bitte Karte kijk. Den media. Neiter alle nu. Gerion dader a gaven Odin. Sjálve mér, Adam medier magni vit. Hebels han, a brotum ren. Dit lefi, nik själdu. Nej, det har den ikke. Nista ek nider, namak ap runar. Upon denom, fell, ek up the Odin. Hamarafunar in Odin. Helge vi dera och kindra alla älska. Hamarafunar i Ostri. Helge vi dera och kindra alla älska. Hamarafunar i Sudri. Helge vi dera. Och kindra all älska. Amara tunar i västri. Helga vittera. Och kindra all älska. Amara tunar. Giffer åker. Helga vittera. Och kindra all älska. Hamarafunar andaråker, helga vittera, a kindra, al ilska. Hamarafunar, helga vittera, a cold word.
Daughters of the Deceiver, my Valkyrie sisters, come, join me in the blessing of me.
Great. Great.
Great Mother, ancestral mothers, well-wishing whites, come, join us in the blessing of me. Guide our hands. Strength, ability, victory. This meat now charged and changed by my name, made holy for our life. Bring all of us out. Hail to the mothers. Hail. Hail.
Hail.
Hail.
I
But you know the secret word that Odin whispered into Balder's ear as he lay upon his pyre. I will tell it to you now. The word is Othrier, the precious mead of inspiration, made from the blood of Kavasar, the wisest of beings. It is within you even now, but it can be accessed only through the sacrifice of self unto self and union with the higher self. Silence now, ye sons and daughters of Heimdall. Listen, children of the wolf god, as I tell the tale of Balder's dreams and of his death that happened so long ago. 'Tis time to speak of sacred things here on the hallowed ground of this veil. Hear now what I say. Breidablik is where Balder built his hall. Upon that land, I know, are the fewest harmful runes. But Balder dreamed dark dreams, great and dangerous to his life. And when he told the Aesir, they took it as an ill omen, and they held counsel to decide what best to do. Upon Sleipnir rode the old enchanter eastward of Hell's blackened gate to the grave of the ancient witch to wake her from her long slumber beneath the ice and snow. With his magic, Balder's father made her speak to tell him what he wished to know. For whom are Hell's halls tables set? What guest does she expect? Speak now, witch! Do not be silent, for I must needs know.
For Balder, the feast is prepared, and the precious mead awaits.
All souls in Hell's dark hall are gathered to welcome Odin's golden son to the legions of the dead. When Frigga heard this, the first of Hin's great sorrows, she an oath exacted from all things in creation that they would in no way harm Balder. All things of wood, water, stone, and sky swore this oath, except the mistletoe, whom she thought too young to swear. And so the gods started a great honor to Balder, to cast their spears at him, to shoot their arrows, hew at him with their axes, and stab at him with their swords and knives, for nothing would do him harm. But when Loki, Laufey's son, saw this, he was jealous, and it displeased him very much that Balder was the center of attention and not he himself. And so he took upon himself the shape of an old woman, and in this guise he spoke with Frigga and tricked her into telling him about the mistletoe. And so he went and made an arrow from that plant. And with that arrow and the bow, he returned to Asgard and joined the sport of the gods, and guided Balder's blind brother held his hand and shot arrows through Balder's heart, and he fell dead upon the floor. In their grief, the gods could scarcely believe their eyes. Odin and Frigga grieved most of all, for they knew full well the gravity of their son's death, for it meant that light had gone out from the world. Sleipnir was brought forth for Hermod, and Frigga bade the hero ride to Hel to seek her son's release. For nights all 9 Hermod rode, and then leapt Sleipnir over that dark gate and sought audience with the queen.
If all things in creation will weep for Balder, he may return to the land of the living.
And so the word was sent out throughout all creation that all things should weep for Balder. And indeed, all things wept. All things except a hideous hag living in a filthy cave. High fuck!
That will weep dry tears for Balder's burial.
Neither in life nor in death gave he me gladness. Let hell keep what hell hath. And so Balder's body was brought forth with great reverence and laid upon a huge mound of treasure upon his funeral ship. When Balder's wife Nanna saw this, her heart broke, and she fell dead upon the ground. And so she was laid next to her husband upon the pyre. Balder's horse, fully caparisoned, was led out onto the ship to join his master. Odin whispered into his son's ear, and he laid upon his breast the magic golden ring, Draupnir, whose properties are such that every 9th night 8 more golden rings of equal size and weight drip from itself. Many folk were gathered there that day for Balder's funeral. There were giants, elves, dwarfs, trolls, fairies, and men there with the gods. But not even all the gods together could launch Balder's funeral ship. So heavily with treasure was it laden. And then Heroken, the giantess, rode up on a massive wolf, using twisted snakes as reins. When she dismounted, it took 4 berserks to restrain the terrifying beast. She strode forth through the throng, and with one thrust, she shoved the funeral ship so violently that the rollers beneath the keel burst into flame, and the ship lit up the night sky with the brightness of its blaze as it drifted out to sea. And so it was that Balder the Beautiful, god of light, was laid to rest. The Red Thunder, Thor, stepped forth and raised Mjolnir to bless his brother's journey to Hell. a dwarf leader ran before him, and in his grief and anger, Thor kicked the dwarf onto the pyre, and he was burned to death in the fire. So now, in Balder's honor, let us look within ourselves, find that which is weak, that which does not serve us, that which inhibits our ability to contribute Hamingia and Orlog to the folk. During Sumble, let us commit it to the flames, to be sent to hell and there transformed into a source of strength. Let us wind the web of awakening that opens the mind's eye, that we see the path that leads to victory. We wind the web of awakening. Vi vindum vaknu varvefen. Vindum, vindum, vap. Vindum, vindum, vap. Vindum, vindum, vap.
I consecrate and make holy to the All-Father Wotan this place of worship, banishing all influences which are unholy and impure. May our minds in this consecrated place likewise be consecrated, as is our will, to the minds in the service of Wotan, ancient god of our people, as the god Heimdall guards Bifrost Bridge. May this place be watched against all forces, harmonious to our purpose this day. Great Wotan, we kindle the fire of cleansing and creation, the first mystery and the final mercy. Let flame be quickened with flame, that through the darkness we may come to light, and may the holy flame of our folk and future, which ever burns, grow again to bathe Midgard in the sacred radiance.
Hail to Balder, son of the seasons, hear us, as you travel the skies on high with your strong steps on the wing of heights, radiant as the stars above. You sink down in the perilous ocean without hurt and without fear. You rise up to the east wind like a young king in glory. Hail life, hail the wheel of creation, hail to all gathered here who pay tribute to our ancestors and to the summer solstice. To your health and strength and beauty, great Balder, we honor you this Midsummer's Eve.
Hail!
Hail!
Noble Balder, we welcome you to this world of Midgard, shining one of the gods. Instruct us in the ways of thy virtue. Hail Balder, bright, though whose radiance lights a golden age, joy of godkin and mortal kin. It was you who was slain by darkness and deceit, which despised our God goodness. We pay homage to you, Balder, that you fell to rise again to an eternal hope of a greater and glorious time. We hail you, speedy return. Show us the way of the warrior and who walks in balance with goodness and justice in his heart. Your wisdom teaches us the mysteries of rebirth. May strength and honor be with you and all your people always.
Hail!
Summer solstice, our longest day of the year, is marked by some extraordinary rituals over which our heathen high priest presided to ensure the cycle of the year could continue. This is the time of union of God and goddess, not goddess and god as they were at the winter solstice, but the opposite polarity. goddess is no longer darkly powerful and introspective, but has become an earth cloaked in a rich tapestry of life, and a sun glorious in bright heavenly power. The god too has become full. His arms have become long in growth and heavy with leaves. An abundance of life is pressing in on every side. At summer solstice, the high forces reach their peak. The trees are fully cloaked in green, and the way is open to the upper worlds. The three great features of the midsummer throughout ancient Aryan times have been the traditional bonfires, the procession with torches around the fields, and the custom of rolling the fire wheel down the hill. Midsummer is a time of dancing, festivities, divination, love, weddings, and merrymaking. The summer solstice is held in honor of Balder the Good, for it was considered the anniversary of his death and of his descent into the lower world. On that day, the people congregated out of doors, making great bonfires and watching the sun, which in extreme northern latitudes barely dips beneath the horizon ere it rises upon a new day. From midsummer, the days gradually grow shorter and the sun's rays less warm, until the winter solstice, which is called Mother Night, as the longest night of the year.
We're going to pass this wheel, keep it turning around the circle.
The sun is rising quickly. The summer nights are long. The song of birds is splendid, unerring, speechless beauty of earth. Now I am golden grown and fearless in battle. I am a light that flashes, courage resplendent in life's radiant flame. All things changing, nothing ever dies. The wheel of life keeps turning. The wheel of life keeps turning. And in nature's cycle spins creation, blazing like the sun's disk, emanation of the high god Balder, a time of sanctification. The mystical nature of race and blood, the carriers of the primordial substances. The wheel of life keeps turning. The wheel of life keeps turning. I greet the summer solstice and the promise of a golden age. Hail!
Hail!
The most cherished and beloved. The most cherished and beloved of all the gods is Balder, the symbol of light and truth, son of Wotan and Frigga, half-brother of Thor. He is known as the most handsome of the Aesir. His flowing blonde hair was thought to be radiant beams of the summer sun, which warm the earth and spirits of Midgard. His skill with runes and his tremendous knowledge of healing herbs made him a prominent deity during times of illness in Midgard. Balder's palace was called Breidablik, where he lived with his wife Nanna, a goddess of vegetation. Breidablik featured a golden roof supported by towering pillars of solid silver. It was said that no untruth could pass through these doors. Frigga had rendered Balder impervious to wounds from all known weapons. Balder met his predestined physical death at the hands of his evil brother Hoder, encouraged by the scheming Loki. With the only element known which could cause his death, a dart of mistletoe, with the death of Balder, the gods and all of the living life experienced their greatest sorrow. It is known that Balder would have his day of resurrection and usher in the new age of light for Midgard after Ragnarok. Ensuring new hope for the future, it is believed that both Balder and Hoder together represent the seed of Wotan's soul.
Of all 12 gods to Odin's throne, Balder the beautiful alone, the sun god, good and pure and bright, was loved by all as all love light. But in each human soul we find that dark night's Hoder, Baldur's brother blind, is born and waxeth strong as he, for blind is evil born, as bear cubs be. Night is the cloak of evil, but all that is good, that hath never been clad in shining garments stood. The busy Loki, tempter from the old, still forwards trends and doth hold the blind one's murder hand, whose quick launched spear pierceth young Baldur's breast, the son of Valhall's sphere. You fall, O dark, O Baldur, to rise anew, as the sun falls to rise. For this in this creation and promise, through the turning of day to week, month to year, decade to millennium, and on to the great year, and yet we see in the light and light's return a future golden age for those who will strive for it. All hail to thee, Baldur, shining god of Asgard and our folk.
Hail!
Hail.
Raise our spirits, Baldur, as the old gods raised our ancient stones. Their silence speaks in volumes, in hushed and muted tones. Power of North, memory and intellect, guardians of our fate, guide us and protect us till we pass through Midgard's gate. Power of East, wind and sky, wisdom, thought, and reason. Hail to the protector of the circle of the seasons. Power of the South, fire and flame, hearth and lantern burning. Hail, thou energizer of the wheel and all its turning. Power of the West, of waters deep, emotions ebb and flowing. Hail thee, Baldur, of all that's green and growing.
Hail, Baldur! Hail!
I give you the blessings of Baldur.
The goody dips evergreen spring into the horn of mead and sprinkles each celebrant in the circle in sunwise progression, saying, I give you the blessings of Baldur. Streaming from the stars through everlasting space, whelming out of the earth itself, singing in our hearts, surging in our people's blood and sinew, the Odinic force, the stuff of life. Life is around and within. It is the seed that rests in the quick dark, the quiet dark. It bursts forth, seeking the light. The ear ripens in the sun, and we make bread and eat and take in that life. Let us remember the bright beacons of the past. Hold them dear and holy. Brighter still determined to build new beacons toward a future of promising hope. Look sunward and know that our ancestors did this and swore themselves to a noble future. Look sunward and behold the beauty in a time of seeming chaos. Look sunward and see the promise of a bright future. That we can build. Give thanks for true and loyal comrades. Behold the sun and be glad. In the name of Wotan, Balder, Frey, and Thor, and all our ancestral gods, from the Heathen's breast and the wraith's bow, may we obtain the food of Wotan, which is wisdom, of Fjolnir, which is being, and the blood of Kavasar, which is knowledge. May we have the power of luck and the honor of fellowship, and may we be blessed with fine hearts.